Yeah. In construction, you find all kinds of things. Over the years, if you're around long enough, you're going to find things in the walls, in the floors, in the attic. I've seen some good stories. One house I worked on, the contractor was tearing the kitchen ceiling out of a home that was probably built in the late 1800s, 1895, I guess. But he's hacking away. He's tearing the drywall. And this coffee can comes crashing down onto the floor and just silver dollars all over the place. It was beautiful. Um, and he was one of those honest ones. He didn't keep any. He told the homeowner about it, and which, of course, the homeowner was elated. I don't know if he gave him any of the silver coins he should have, finder's fee. But I mean, some of the things you find in walls and floors and attics, actually, if you're around long enough, you're going to find something unusual. I found whiskey bottles in walls. Why not? Um, this one time, I remember working on a job. This was a while back in San Francisco, up in the Pacific Heights, where they used to have these carriages that would go through a little driveway and park, and you could offload your people and goods and things, and it was like a carriage house. And the owner wanted to upgrade, so he was going to use a part of the barn that hadn't been used for a century, over 100 years, nearly. And so he had a crew come in, and they did the demo, and they were supposed to be doing all kinds of, I don't know if he was going to make it a mother-in-law's unit. That would be my guess. But in the process, these three guys that were working there, and this was going to be a job that was going to take at least, 3 or 4 months. In the process of these guys working there, they opened a wall and found a 45, 50-gallon wooden keg, still tapped, still plugged, corked. And they opened it, and they found whiskey, a barrel of whiskey. They told the homeowner right away, and just in case, to be right about it. And the homeowner said, "Well, we don't drink it. I have no use for it. You guys can take it with you or whatever." And over the next couple weeks, these guys were tapping that whiskey while they were working on this house in San Francisco up on Pacific. Funny thing is, underneath this house, there was like a little stream. They built it right over a stream. Either it wasn't there when they built the house, and it developed afterwards. I don't know. Either way, they came across this barrel. They're remodeling. They dragged it out, set it aside, and they had a little siphon pump, and they were imbibing during the day. Probably toward the last part of the day. I'm guessing they weren't using power tools and things while they were, But these guys were raving about how good and smooth and oaky this whiskey was. And I never tried it, incidentally. I'm a beer guy. I can't handle the hard stuff. It makes me sleepy, stupid. But some guys can, and these guys could, and they did. They were all Irish. Nothing against Irish, but they know how to handle. They could handle their, from what I understand. And about 4 months went by, and they got to the bottom of this. It was almost empty. I don't know how the frick they tried. They must have invited some people over after hours and say, "Hey, look, this is what we found. Check this out." And it was amazing, according to them. But interestingly, in the late 1880s, early 1890s, if you were going to move a body, a corpse of loved one from overseas to the United States in a coffin, it was very expensive. See where I'm going with this? If you put it if you put it in a barrel and it's labeled whiskey or rum or whatever, fraction of the price. And that's what they did. Somewhere along the line, these people moved their grandfather from Hungary, I think it was, Germany or Hungary, I can't remember, in a barrel, and they, somewhere along the line, they sealed him up in a wall. And there he sat, very aged. And when the barrel got nearly empty, they tipped it, so that they could knock out some of the last juices. And thing broke open. To their surprise and amazement. Yeah. Funny what you find in walls.